Welcome to Playoff Central Live, presented by AT&T and Bill Cream, alongside Udonis Haslem and Vince Carter. We got complete post-game coverage coming up here on NBA TV. How do we be polite about this one? Not the prettiest game.
You ain't got to be polite. Hey. We just got to tell the truth.
Tell them the truth, then. What was this game like? Because if you take away that run that Golden State made in that third quarter, they were down, 7 with about 6 minutes to go. It was pretty ugly.
We understand what Steph brings to this team, so we're going to give him some grace.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to give him some grace. The ball finds energy. It's no coincidence that Steph has been playing the way he has been playing. They have been finding him. They have been looking for him, so I'm sure that's an adjustment. But with that being said, it kind of looked like one of those games where you said, we got one, and then we did what we came to do. So earlier we talked about in the playoffs how teams get greedy when they get one, like the New York Knicks. You try to go get another one. But a lot of teams in this NBA go on the road and you get one game, you've stolen home court, and you kind of lay an egg that second game. That's not the first time we've seen that happen. I've been on teams that have done that. So I know what it feels like when you get one on the road in a playoff series.
It just felt like Golden State couldn't run their offense at all.
And the fear that I had was I wanted to see an aggressive Jimmy Butler.
Called it.
And that was my fear because, yes, he's a facilitator, and they needed the aggressive Jimmy Butler. 13 shots. Yes, he had 17 points, I think, 7 rebounds, only on 13 shots. For me, that's not enough. But they're going to have to find a way. I think you got some good things out of it. Jonathan Kuminga, one guy who I said this is one of the guys I think who needed to have a big game, as well as Moses Moody, who didn't have a great game, but he didn't have a great game at all, 0 for 5. But Jimmy's going to have to just step outside of the box. And we talk about playoff Jimmy, and we know what that means and what comes with it. But you mentioned something that I thought about, and you're like, yes, he finds matchups, and he catches you when you make some mistakes. I think Jimmy Butler has to be that guy that goes out there and plays carefree. And if you turn it over, you turn it over.
Yeah.
But they need an aggressive downhill. There's a lot of shots tonight, just like you, frustrated me. He gets in the paint and does not look at the rim.
Yes.
They need him to score and attempt shots.
You mentioned Jonathan Kuminga, and that might be the big thing coming out of this game for Golden State. Obviously, he's been out of the rotation, playing, sparse minutes as far as the playoffs have been concerned. But in this game, he gave them a spark. He was a big reason why they came within 7.
Yes, he played 26 minutes, 18 points, but a big third quarter. I think that was 3 for 4, 1 for 1 from 3. And it's just him being an athlete. And more than anything, finding his confidence, being aggressive, but showing his athleticism. We know he's so athletic. Here he's in the dunker spot. But calling for the ball, everybody's above the free throw line. You see a matchup that you like, so what do you do? Attack the matchup. Don't settle. He did not settle. Being aggressive, being an athlete. Hey, he's a shot blocker, defensive player of the year if you would. Attack him if you can. Here's another one. Backdoor, making the right read. Nothing's there. But just opportunity, but ready to shoot. Catches the ball, zero hesitation. That's important. Zero hesitation. And that's the Jonathan Kuminga we've seen, we've loved, we know that he has. And I think he's earned himself a spot to be in that starting unit. I know they started the young guy post. Particularly, I would have started Looney, a guy with some experience, and played some minutes with the post. But now I think Kevon Looney has earned the right and I think shown your organization he's back. He's confident. This is a confident game for him. Yes, they lost the game, but you gained something in this loss.
And to piggyback off what you said earlier before we started that game, I think the veterans had that leadership conversation with Kuminga because there's no way if he's not fully engaged mentally that he comes out and plays the way he plays. So the Draymond Greens, the Steph Currys, the Jimmy Butlers, those guys have been in his ear making sure he stayed encouraged. And that way he was able to seize this moment that he had tonight. So I'm happy for him. And there is something that you can work with moving forward.
Yeah.
The Timberwolves shot 43% from 3 in this game. They got their mojo going again, 16-37. I mean, that's going to be a problem for the Golden State Warriors moving forward if they can't get better on their closeouts.
No. I mean, this is what the Timberwolves do. They shoot the ball from three-point range. They shoot at a high clip. They shoot it very well. They didn't shoot it that well the first game, but that was a lot of ant-man. 1 for 6, not being able to get the ball to go in the hole. You can get in the paint. You can draw 2. You can spray and get shots for other guys. Also, Dante DiVincenzo got it going tonight. He was a guy who is ignitable, and we needed him to get going. Jaden McDaniels is getting it going. Everybody is getting shots. And if you look at all those shots were open shots, which means somebody was getting in the paint, creating an advantage, getting somebody an open look.
From the Warriors side of things, can you pick something out? Because Steve Kerr said coming into this game, I'm going to play, he said it, I'm going to play a lot of different guys. We're going to look at different combinations here. Was there anything that stood out as a positive? Besides Kuminga, there's a couple of performances, but is there anything, Vince, that stands out to you, says, okay, we can carry this over to game 3?
I'm going to also throw another name out there, Trace Jackson Davis. Here's another big, what you said, no rim protection. He's a young guy, but here's a big that got some valuable minutes, played pretty good basketball. He only played 5 minutes, 6 points. But it's confidence, and it needs to be led by Jimmy Butler, first and foremost. I think he's the guy that just needs to be aggressive, and he will ignite a lot of things because Jimmy's ability, we've talked about it ad nauseum once Jimmy got there, his ability to get his squad into the penalty. And how does that happen? He's being aggressive, and he's able to manipulate plays, draw fouls, which is important, which gets some of your guys easy baskets. So I think they're going to need guys like Trace Jackson, Kuminga, like we talked about. Moses Moody has to have a better game. And then Podziemski, who's very capable, didn't have a great game, but he didn't mark at all. But, like, those are guys that have to find ways to score. But I think Jimmy Butler makes that happen. So going back home, when your role players play better, I'm expecting them to have a better game 3.
You know, on the flip side of things, when we talk about Minnesota and this balanced effort from their team, I think before the game, and quote me, correct me if I'm wrong, but you said this is the best you've seen Julius, or the most comfortable you've seen Julius Randle's game. And tonight was another example.
The best version of Julius Randle I have seen in these situations, in playoff moments. And we talk about right here. He comes up, they pin down for him. He gets the ball against Jimmy Butler. Not an easy defender to go against. Goes right to the step back. That's an easy shot for a left hand to get to your right hand step back, create a little space, and then get your shot off. Right here, he sees the matchup. He's letting him know early, I got a mismatch right here, so just let me get the ball and go to work. Goes baseline, he sees the help come. He fakes back because they know he's left-handed. He goes back to the right with the spin cycle. Smaller defender, we're not going to let him off the hook. Right now, we get at the top of the key. We got the pick and roll. Roll into the basket. I don't get the ball, but once again, there's a smaller defender on me. I'm going to get the offensive rebound. Julius Randle is one guy in this situation, in this series. He's going to have an advantage every single time. If you're going to put a big guy on him, he can go around him and use his skill set. If you're going to put a small guy on him, he can beat him up down there in the post, get 2 feet in the paint. He can either score or he can make a play from somebody. Right now, I'm seeing the clearest mind that Julius Randle has played with right now. There's no hesitation. There's no questioning. He's playing full speed ahead, and every decision that he makes, he's very confident in that decision.
Also had a season-high 11 assists.
Exactly what I was going to say. Not only was he not settling, not letting guys off the hook, punishing them in situations, whether it's free throw line, in the post, wherever the situation may be, he was also making the right play. Now, when you demand those double teams because you're punishing guys in the post, you spray the ball out to guys getting open shots for DiVincenzo, McDaniels, and so on and so forth. So Ant-Man's not playing well. Well, he has a guy that he can rely on. And I said before, maybe Julius Randle's not the number 1 guy anymore. He's a very darn good number 2 guy.
Damn sure was, because all that happened when Ant-Man went out.
Correct.
You can go to that guy and be comfortable and confident that he's going to get you buckets.
So a huge win for the Timberwolves. Ant-Man coming back, which is huge for them, finished with 20 points. Let's hear from Chris Finch right now, who's at the podium.